Woo! What a week. What a weekend. Oh, man. What's going on out there in these YouTube streets? Welcome to Street Talk Daily, where we bring you the news daily in the streets. It's a lot going on out there, y'all. It's a lot going on. Okay. Well, we have a special guest for you guys tonight. Yes, yes. So stay tuned. Be back in a second. Hey. Peace and hair grease. What's up? I'm your girl, Sister Mecca L, also known as what my mama named me, Sharon. How y'all doing out there today? We about to get into some heat in these streets, okay? We're gonna be talking about narcissism today with our special guest, Mr. Leon Walker Jr. All right. Shout out to my brother, my big brother, Stone Paxton, y'all.
Yeah, happy people. I can't believe this world around me. It's not the same. People are angry. I meditate to take my mind away. Pray for the world in hopes for a better day. Ooh, we are made by design. If the world is now darker than light, we have one chance to make it alright. What is left is our future demise. They say happy people makes the world go round and round, round and round. Happy people turn the frown to a smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people take love and domination. They say happy people makes the world go round and round, round and round. Happy people turn the frown to a smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people today, ain't nothing like a frown taken off of your face. Cause I just wanna be lifted up, wanna be lifted up, wanna be brought up today. They say happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people turn the frown to a smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people 'cause I just wanna see happy, happy, happy people every day. Now dance. Right now I'd like to introduce to you Larry White on rhythm guitar. Happy people, they say happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people turn the frown. Y'all put your hands in the air. Happy people that don't worry about a thing. You see, we make the world go round. People take love and dominate. They say happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people turn the frown to a smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people take love and dominate.
I love that tune. Thank you so much, Stone Braxton, for bringing love to the show today. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're bringing you a guest like no other, a man who's commanded fleets, trained warriors, and now he's breaking chains through brutal honesty. Commander Master Chief Leon R. Walker Jr. He's a decorated Navy veteran with over 30 years of service, rising from seaman apprentice to one of the highest enlisted ranks in the U.S. Navy. He led with authority, earned his title through grit, and completed high-risk missions in the Persian Gulf, all while mentoring the next generation of military leaders. But beyond the battlefield, he's waging a different kind of war on emotional dysfunction, toxic cycles, and the trauma so many people silently carry. So Leon Walker, he's not just, here to pretend. He's here to tell the truth. After decades of living as a self-aware narcissist, he boldly states, I'll never kick the disorder. I'll always be a narcissist, but I use it now to help others recognize the signs and protect themselves. So now, through his growing YouTube platform, he's exposing the inner workings of narcissistic behavior, not from a textbook, but from real life experience. He's not proud of who he was, but he's not hiding from it either. His mission to save lives by pulling the mask off dysfunction and giving people the language to heal. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because once you hear Leon Walker Jr., you'll never look at toxic relationships the same way again. Welcome, welcome, my brother. I think you're on mute.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Sharon, for having me. How you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent. How are you?
Good, good, good.
That's excellent.
How you doing, Brother Leon?
What's up, OG Patrice? Thanks for connecting us.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
yes,
you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
yes, yes,
can help bridge the gap and bring awareness.
Yeah, no doubt.
yes, beloved brother. So you have the floor. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions later on, but you have the floor. You go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that the fact that I will always have this disorder. People, there's no way that all of a sudden will say, "Well, I'm not a narcissist anymore." It doesn't just go away, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not brain damage. It's a disorder that started. I think for me, well, I know when it started at 5. They say it starts at 18 months. I can believe that, and I know mine started at 5 with being molested, and then watching porn at 7, lose my virginity at 8, and my uncle touched me between the ages of 10 and 12. So it will. I developed a lot of anger issues. I developed sexual issues. I developed um, a lack of empathy, not wanting to love, not wanting family. All of that before I was 11 years old. So that's burned into my brain. And had I not gotten the help in 2014, I would be much worse at age 59, much worse. So I started getting worse. I started getting pretty bad at 15 years old, and I could feel the changes, the shifts. Not having my mom around, being rough and tough like my dad, delving into prostitution, Started smoking at an early age. I never popped pills, nothing like that. Smoking weed at an early age. But some things I never let go was smoking and porn, which I have now. But a lot of everything started at the early age. So some people go this route as an empath. Some people go this route as a narcissist. Some people go to psych, not a, what is it? Sociopath and psychopaths. And so I didn't choose this route. It was actually I did, but I didn't know what it would be called later on. So I choose the route, a path of protecting my heart and survival, being angry, being mean, and a lot of that felt good. Being in healthy relationships didn't feel good to me after losing my mom, a few times. I lost when I was 11 because I was sent to live with another lady. I lost her in 1985 when I was 19 when she started smoking crack. And I lost her again in 2012 when she died. So I was destined to be a narcissist, if you will. I had all the traits. I have all the traits. Therapy allowed me to learn a lot about myself and why I had become who I become. And so without therapy, they'll never be able to have clarity or be self-aware. It's almost impossible because most people don't want to face constructive criticism, especially people with narcissistic personality disorder.
If I may intervene here, brother, because all of the things that you are stating here that you went through, just so people can understand, you don't have to have all of these traumas or all of these environmental things. It's a combination of things that creates a narcissist. And just to be clear, narcissists are created. You're not born that way.
Right.
So, with what Brother Leon is saying in his experience, and he's speaking from his experience, but you don't have to have all the traits to still be a narcissist. And to definitely say that there's a difference between the actual disorder and a narcissistic trait, because we all have that as human beings. So just know that there's a difference between the two, narcissistic traits and actually having the personality disorder.
Right. Exactly. That's true. Thank you, Patrice.
So brother, I have interviewed you. I don't know, it got to be at least 5 or 6 times. Meeting with you has been a total blessing in my life because it has waken me up to study, research, and know what someone that suffers from this personality disorder is, not realizing that you may have family members that has this disorder and you didn't know what it was your whole life. You have been in a relationship, a marriage to someone, and not knowing that this what it was. And children, unfortunately, parents, grandparents, whoever raised you, not understanding why these people were the way they were. So if you don't mind, please just kind of break that down to us and tell us about your journey with dealing with that and what brought you to go viral on social media to really expose yourself, like all the sheets were off and you literally tell us about that journey.
Well, uh, and years ago, I started talking about relationships, and I always felt like I was hiding something, um, because I was talking about. Actually, I wasn't even talking about myself. I couldn't do it, and I was talking about relationships, and I was being antagonistical of sorts often when I was talking about relationships, because I was still self-centered and egotistical and cocky and arrogant. This is probably about maybe 5 years ago. And one of my friends said, Leon, you start talking to women because the men are not listening to you. And I was like, you know what, you got a point. So I started talking to women, and then I didn't, I wasn't getting any better. I wasn't humble. I was just talking like, I liked the attention. Women were listening to me, but I felt off. And then one day in June of 2021, I was dating a lady, and she says, I know about your narcissism, and I had never told her about it. She was in the church, and she said she was close to God. She said, God told me to tell you to start talking about it. And I was like, there's no way. I ain't no way I'm going to expose myself. I said, I'm not doing that. And we got into it. And then one day, June 2021, I did a video, and Beyonce's mother got it, and she reposted it, and then Mary got it, and they reposted it, and it just went viral, and I was scared because here I am in front of probably, I think it went like to 1.3 million people, and I was like, man, I felt horrible because narcissistic people are always out front, want to be seen, love the adulation, love the pats on the back, the high fives, the hugs, all the attention. There's hardly ever anyone that's going to expose them. It hardly ever happens until you get into a bad relationship, you go to court, and the woman or the man, whoever you're married to or dating, has enough heart to expose you. But it didn't never happen to me. Women were always nice, and they apologize. I don't want to leave you, Leon. I don't want to break up, but anyway, I would do it. But anyway, did the video, and I had to start exposing myself because it was out there. And I looked at my ex-girlfriend, I called, I thought she set me up. And then I started doing videos to antagonize her while we were together. And then she would call me, why'd you do that video? I'm like, you asked for it. So I started showing her a lot more to narcissism that she thought she knew. And then it got worse. And then she called me one day and we broke up. And then I got mad and I kept posting videos to antagonize her. And then one day, November 2021, I stopped because the insults were bad. I was getting called names. I was pretty much a little punk. And I took a break and I ran. And then I stayed away from social media for a whole month. And then one day I woke up and God said, start posting videos again. And that was December 2021. And as soon as I posted the video, a lady called me, said, why did you stop posting, Leon? You saved my life. I didn't off myself because of you. And that's when I restarted doing it again. And I'm like, wow, now I'm really helping people. So it went from talking about relationships, not being humble, loving the attention, to I had to really shed my skin, expose myself, humble myself, and realize that I was helping people. And the same people that I was hurting were the ones that were helping me. So I kept doing it. And that's what happened to December 21. And here we are now.
Wow. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does being a narcissist look like from the inside, and what are the thoughts and behaviors that people don't see?
Thoughts and behaviors are fear, insecurity, don't like to be wrong, will lie a lot, will very risky, afraid to love, don't want to get close to people, very promiscuous, likes a variety of people. On the inside, it's not always good feeling. Always have to have the last word right. Doesn't feel healthy when things don't go your way. When things go wrong, you don't know how to recover. Can't handle conflict resolution. I was an arguer. I couldn't resolve issues at the lowest level and be calm about it. Extreme anger issues, PTSD, anxiety, depression. So it comes with a lot. And that's why a lot of times you see them, you have to have the best car, the biggest house, the best jewelry, dress the best women. Be very, very, narcissists are very, very high strung, highly successful, and very overbearing. Have to have their way, because when they start losing, it's a feeling, it's a void, a deep, empty void. That's why I didn't like to be with women that knew who I was and would challenge me daily. I hated it. I had to be a woman that would let me lead, let me win, follow my lead, and don't say anything, be quiet. And that's what made me happy. But I realized that she wasn't happy. And I'd been in relationships where I starved women to death, almost, wouldn't touch me after a while, didn't want to have sex after a while because I was cheating, wouldn't have deep conversations. So that's what it is for me. That's what it looks like from the outside in, from the inside out.
So you be
And
detached. So it's like a detachment from others. Like you don't feel nothing for. Is it a void? You don't feel nothing for others. The women.
Well, you go from woman to woman. That's why people talk about this supply thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what is that about? It's okay. I would always get used to women really, really fast. I would lose interest really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to find somebody else that would start complimenting me again, and it had to be new. I had to start over and get a different feeling, because I wasn't the type of guy to commit to one woman. That's why I was always cheating, and I had 3 or 4 women at one time, always. And then for me to make that work, I had to find the women that had low self-esteem, and they would take anything I gave them, and then I would even tell them that they weren't the only one, and they would accept it. So that made it easy for me to have a harem of women.
Oh,
Mm.
so let's talk about a narcissist in a relationship when they start dating and how that process looks, because there are some words out here that's attached to someone that suffers with NPD. First, it starts with, the love bombing. So let's talk about you meet someone, and it could be male and female. Because listen, we're not saying that it doesn't happen to females, because there are female narcissists as well. And we'll get into the analytics and the numbers specifically. I want to in the Black community, because it's a lot of behaviors that I'm starting to see on social media, and even with some of these celebrities that are being exposed. But let's talk about how a narcissist works when they start dating, and the love bombing process when they're in a relationship.
And so the easier you are to love bomb, the shorter the relationship will be. Because if I can reel you in with small gifts, dinners, plays, getting your nails done, dressing you up, if you accept all of that so really, really fast, I'm going to lose interest really, really fast. And then once I leave you and go find somebody else, I'm going to always come back and see if you're still there. And most times the women were still there. And so she knew when I left, I hurt her, I cheated, I was with somebody else, and I come back and I would twist the story so that she would accept me for who I am at that time, a dysfunctional, um, self-centered, arrogant man. And so most women, I thought in my mind that they liked the fact that I was arrogant and cocky and conceited, because most women told me that. And so I wasn't going to change. And if I don't change, I'll come back, you accept me, then I'm not going to change for sure. But the love bombing happens in 3 stages. In the beginning, love bombing is to show you what I can do for you. That's all it is. And when I talk to women and I listen to them, they tell me what they haven't been getting. That's who I'm going. That's what I'm going to give them, and that's who I'm going to become. So now you got to deal with the guy that you always wanted, and you got to deal with me. And after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of that, it's going to be hard for you to let go. But I can let go because I'm emotionally detached going into a relationship. So I didn't care about walking away, leaving a hurting woman. I didn't. And then in the middle of the relationship, when I come back around, the love bombing starts again to bring you back in after I left you from the beginning. And at the end, when I get tired of you and discard you, the love bombing happens again when I want to come back. So the women that were firm and solid and strong, and I couldn't do the love bombing on the second and third time, those were the hardest ones for me to also let go, because I wanted to come back and prove to myself that I can get them again after I broke up with them. That didn't happen all the time, but it's going to happen with the narcissist. So the easier you are to impress and please, the quicker you're going to get discarded and the more you're going to be abused.
Wow, and it's really astounding that you said that, because it's with a narcissist, it's a manipulation tactic from the very beginning, even when it
Mhm.
comes to the love bombing, because like
Right.
you said, it's to show you how they can take care of you, because women, we as women, we tend to go into relationships or dating, and we having a conversation talking to this man about what we didn't get from the last relationship or man, right? So
Right. Right.
you listening to that, and then you becomes this person that you hearing her say what we didn't get or what this man was in the previous relationship. And that's a manipulation tactic, but it's not really you, because eventually the mask comes off with you, and then we see the real you, but we kind of in there in our feelings emotionally with you now because of the love bombing. Is that pretty much
Exactly. And
okay?
then you don't want to let go, because you know what happens. You know the mistake y'all make. The biggest mistake y'all make is that when it happens, the love bombing, and we having sex, we're traveling, we're hitting the clubs, we're going to plays, we're dressing up, you're getting your hair done, I'm paying for it, paying for your nails. What happens is you become addicted to the potential.
Mm,
Mm.
Wow.
Wow. Knock on wood, OG.
And
That was a
y'all will
mic drop.
hold
Whoa.
on to that potential. And then the second part to that is that you put in a lot of work with me, and I let you put in a lot of work with me. That's part of being part of the manipulation stage, where I let you think that you put work on me. I'm gonna leave anyway, and then you put so much work in. You do not want another woman to take what you've built up. You don't.
Yeah. Wow, bro. I can't even tell you how many times when I think about it in retrospect, before I know what that was, I've been in that type of relationship because I'm an empath and I've always been the type of person that want to fix people or fix things or make it right and I work so hard for that. And then realizing that I having that type of relationship and it was toxic and I'm trying to see the potential. I'm trying to pour into this man that it just ain't no hope because every time I've ever let him back in, he actually did me worse than the
Mm.
time before. So women, women and men, because like I said, women are the same way with men, but women definitely need to hear that because I think that speaks volumes as to we have to look inside ourselves and me getting older and mature and learning and researching and knowing what it is now and what it looks like. Yeah, I see it almost immediately just when I'm talking to someone or watching the behavior of someone, just kind of seeing how they move, how they work, how they talk, even just by the conversation I have with them and questions I ask and how they answer it. Because a lot of times when you're dating, and say vouch to this, brother Leon, that if you're asking them questions about the women in their lives, their mothers, their sisters, and how they treat them, or how they even treated their ex, or why did they last relationship or marriage break up, and everything is that woman's fault, and they take no accountability at all,
None.
that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag.
Huge red flag.
Hmm. So, brother Leon, um, I married a narcissist in the past, and I was sharing a little bit about him earlier. So, I can only speak for a man's perspective on narcissism, being a heterosexual woman. And when I met him, he felt the need to show me everything about him, all his success.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I invited him into my cycle, because I was fighting him, so the spirit was telling me, leave him where I met him, don't bring him, don't invite him in. And he was insisting so much. He opened up the door for me. So he would do the things that I've never had done. So when I would tell him, like, I never had this done before, I never been in a relationship where a man did this, he was using everything that I was telling him
Mm-hmm.
against me.
Right.
So um then when I really got to know him, oh Lord, I thought he was the one because he was so abundant. He had, you don't meet too many brothers that could teach sign language. You don't meet too many brothers that can teach Spanish,
Right.
that get a 4.0 in every single class, that could write a book in 2 weeks, that could write a song in 20 minutes. So I was like, oh. Then he would bring me flowers and roses. Didn't know that he was a supreme narcissist and a master manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
He isolated me from my family. He would talk about me and turn everybody against me. I'm thinking that my husband is for me, but all the time I was sleeping with the enemy. He would lie to me, cheat on me, and then he would always try to come back like I'm supposed to just accept it. Let him go
Well,
cheat, and then he could just come back like so. He would go get resources. So when I started learning about narcissism, I understood what he was doing. It got more clearer and clearer. So now I know how to identify when I date. I'm in a relationship now, but if I was to start dating again, I would know what to look for. So what are some early signs that someone may be in a relationship with a narcissist or an emotional abusive person?
it could start off in many ways. When you're in a conversation and you prove them wrong, they get upset. They'll slowly start doing microaggressive stuff. They'll slowly start uh, talking down to you. The verbal abuse will be small, then it gets worse and worse and worse. The silent treatment will happen when you make them mad. Um, Look at how the sex starts to dwindle off when you first meet them. The first time you had sex to the third or fourth or fifth time, it starts to get less and less in time in between. Less touching. The passion is much less too. So there's signs you need to look for. They won't talk about their exes, or if they do, they talk bad about the exes. They'll blame everybody. A lot of times they have money issues. Eventually, they'll start to borrow money. Um, Body odor because they have so many bodies, so many supplies, different women coming over or being with other women, and you too. Um, Addictions, drinking, smoking, porn, pills, aggressive, over the top, overbearing. So all these things will come out. You can't hide it. Everything about me came out within about when I first started dating a woman. It probably came out about the first 3 weeks. It doesn't take long because in the first week or two, they're going to try. They're there to impress you,
Mhm.
and then they're going to hide all of their bad traits, their addictions, um, their cursing. They'll show up early on time, and then eventually start showing up late or not caring. In the beginning, they'll make plans, and then after a few weeks, they won't stop. They'll stop making plans. Um, they'll stop doing what you like because they in the beginning you told them what you like, so they're going to do that. Let's go to the library, read a book. Let's go have some tea. Let's go on a walk on a path or a trail. Let's go feed the ducks. It'll be all about that. But after a while, when y'all talk about the mask falling off, the real person comes out because that's an act. It's just an act. And the real,
Mhm.
and the real person, you will see the real person in probably 3 weeks a month. I don't know exact time frames, but for me, I would lose
Yeah.
interest pretty fast based on how what I said to her, and if I felt her starting to get clingy or close to me,
Mm.
I would start to discard her little
Mm.
by little. My last girlfriend told me, she said, I feel you pulling away, Leon, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And I got mad because, first of all, I got mad because she was right.
Mhm.
Second of all, I got mad because she had the strength and the audacity to break up with me before I could break up with her.
How dare she, right?
How dare she?
Yeah.
Mm.
Narcissists love to be the one to discard and walk away and leave you high and dry. They love the feeling of hurting you, but when the role is reversed, they lose their mind. They can't take it. They get very, very angry. It's like, it's even like once you expose them for who they are, the narcissist that they are, they literally will go on the smear campaign. And I want to talk about that too, because that happens a lot on social media, in real life. They turn you against your family or friends, or try to. They try to triangulate you with your family or friends. It's a lot. And if you don't know what it is, see it happening. Sometimes the the flying monkeys, the enablers and handlers of the narcissist, will be on that train wagon with the narcissist, dragging you, talking about you, defaming you, all those kind of things, because the narcissist, they either one, to me, this is my my thought of it. They either afraid of the narcissist and don't want to go through what they're taking you through, or two, they toxic themselves, or possibly a narcissist themselves, and they love the toxicity and the drama. What do you say about that, brother Leon?
So what happens is the biggest mistake, and I like saying that, but sometimes I don't because I have to repeat myself. I don't want you guys to keep hearing the biggest mistake, but I need for y'all to understand. I would like for y'all to understand that. But the biggest mistake people make when it comes to smear campaign is they don't realize that the narcissist really doesn't want to get in trouble.
Mm.
There's a thing called defamation of character, and what's the other one? It's two. Um,
Mhm.
but
Slander.
slander. There you go. Thank you. You can report that stuff. You can get your lawyer, and you just cool their little heels down when you put it. If they put something on Facebook, you can put on there, oh, got it. Thank you for all information. I've been collecting this for a week now. I'm about to file a complaint against you. I'm going to sue you for defamation of character and slander. It will go away. Narcissistic people do not like to fight in public like that, especially when
Mm.
it's an argument, when it's a conflict. Now, physically, I was the type of person, I'm not going to get my butt whooped. But when you challenge me with slander and defamation of character, which I've never really done that. I'll tell you about something else I did. But when you threaten me with suing me, and also has a lot to do with if that narcissistic person has a lot to lose, whether they're a firefighter, police officer, lawyer, dentist, doctor, and you embarrass them or you call them out, they're going to go away because they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want their reputation to be hurt at
Well, the
all.
ones on social media, they ain't got nothing to lose, unfortunately, and they the ones that do the campaign and the dragging, and when they have platforms and have followers, the followers seems to go with that same narrative. For the most part, some they'll lose subscribers. That's not about the toxicity and drama, but for the most part, I found and discovered that they love the toxicity and the drama. And unfortunately, a lot of that is selling. On social media, it seems to be a breeding ground for people with narcissistic personality disorder, sociopaths, and all of that.
And then what you do in that case, when that's all they do is talk and they're toxic and they pick on people, you don't follow them, you don't watch them, you don't respond. They're gonna always have people that are just like them in their corner. Always. They're gonna find people that's gonna follow them, that's gonna kiss their butt, that's gonna bow down to them, that's gonna say what they want them to say. You just have to remove yourself, and what they will eventually do is find somebody else, because once you don't feed it into it anymore, they get nothing out of it.
Because that's a sense of supply as well to the narcissist, right?
Exactly, it is followership.
Yeah, so I do notice that. That's true. When we would have a situation with court, he would like streak like a little boy. Like then he'd call his mama, for help. Like he don't know what to do. With the other women, not with me, because I ain't never called the police. I should have called the police,
See, I'm
but
gonna
I'm
tell you
not the type of
something.
person to call the police. So he took advantage of the fact that I didn't call the police when he was very abusive, emotionally, physically.
That's
You
why I tell
know.
y'all have a lot more power than y'all know, because y'all let a person run you over, run you into the ground for months and years, and you won't do anything about it. You won't. And they'll keep going and going. And then when you turn around and get tired of it, but by that time, it's like they're going to turn on the other people and turn on you. Why did you let him do it for so long? You took it back 5 times. We don't want to hear about it. And then it's too late. Then you don't have any support.
And most of when you're trying to tell your family and friends what you're going through, they don't believe you anyway.
There
Like
you go.
because to them, when they're around your family and friends, they're a whole different person. They putting on airs, they being fake to them, so they don't see the person that you see and know that's doing that to you in private, right? They in
Exactly.
public, and they put on a whole nother persona of being loved by these people, being admired by these people, because that's a sense of supply for them too, not knowing that they coming home to you being verbally abusive, mentally abusive, psychologically abusive, and some, unfortunately, are even physical abusive.
And you know why women, when they go to therapy, you know why it doesn't work? Want me to tell you why it doesn't work?
Oh,
Because
I think I know. You going home to the person that's got you in therapy.
exactly, you go to therapy 1 hour a week, and for the other 23 hours, you either at work or you with that other person for 15 hours till you go to work again. That's right. You with that person. So it's counteractive. It doesn't work. And you're not doing anything. You're just going to the therapist. Like I talk to women every day, all day, and I have to slow it down because they're wasting my time. They're in therapy or they talk to me and I can say what I want to say. Therapists can't say that. And I told the young lady, I said, you're going right back to your guy that's got you talking to me.
Exactly.
And then you call me tomorrow and tell me another story after you slept with him. Yeah, I slept with
you
him.
tell them exactly what's going to happen.
I tell them exactly what's going to happen because I've done all of this stuff. I was doing this since I was 15.
Wow.
Sharon and
And Brother
Patrice.
Leon, yeah, I don't mind even saying you and I talk. We've had conversations. We've had off sidebar conversations, like about some things I had went through, and I had told you about an ex that was trying to hoover, because that's another word that they, narcissists do when they try to come back. Was trying to hoover and come back in my life, and I called you and you talked to me, and I wasn't going to go back anyway, but I just needed to hear the reassurance. And you said to me, "Don't take him back, Patrice, because if you take him back, he's going to be."
Mm,
So thank you for
mhm,
that. I don't know. I
mhm,
hurts to, even though I knew I had already knew what it was and talked to you and things of that nature. So, but sometimes you just need to hear the
mhm,
reiteration. It has to be repetitive
Mm-hmm.
because we're going through this process as well, and it's a thing called
mhm,
narcissistic abuse, right? So
Right.
when you don't realize that it literally can mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and physically make you sick. So
oh yeah.
that's why therapy after
Mhm,
abuse is very
mhm,
good for women and men to go through. So I just wanted to say that to make it real because it was it was in my life. But
mhm,
brother Leon, yeah. So thank you for that. I just want to say that. But
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
some of the narcissistic tactics that they do or things that they do in relationships, like we talked about being master manipulators. We talked about
mhm.
the love bombing. They deflect. They deflect because the worst thing to me that they do is the gaslighting. Oh my God.
Yeah, that part right there almost like
The
I was
gas-
so broken. Like when I experienced that and my friend told me what it was, I had to go and research it. So I researched it so much that I got sick of what I learned about it.
Right.
And the soul tie that we had was so strong that I couldn't shake them. So I discovered that I was suffering from Stockholm syndrome.
Mm.
So what is Stockholm syndrome? Stockholm syndrome, from what I researched, Leon and OG, it's a psychological condition where a victim develops a bond or an emotional attachment to their abuser, their
Mm-hmm.
captor, or their oppressor.
You
You know
start
what
feeling
I'm
sorry
saying?
for them.
yeah.
Mm. So
Well, and you intimate with this person too, so that
yeah.
I believe in soul ties, right? So
Mhm.
you are connecting intimately, you're connecting soul ties with that person. But
Mhm.
for somebody that is a cheating narcissist, you are
Mhm.
connecting so many other souls and ties of people that they're sleeping with.
Right.
And for me, that's kind of like a demonic thing for me. So you have to detox yourself after those
Mhm. You have to,
abusive.
You
yeah.
know where that comes from? Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know where that comes from?
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
like
So I've talked to in the last 4 years. I've amassed about 500,000 followers on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Mhm.
And out of those 500,000, 98% are women, 99.5% of women. And
Mhm.
I get the same answer from the same women, thousands and thousands of women. It's the same answer. And I'll go, well, why did you stay or why did you go back? They say the
Mhm.
same three things. The sex was good,
Mm.
he was fun, and I thought I could change him.
Wow.
yeah,
I've heard
wow,
that in the last 4 years, I probably heard that
And
200,
learn
300,000 times.
and then learning what it is, the syndrome. When we saw Cassie on television going through what she was going through with Diddy, people were like, yo, she stayed with him 10 years. I don't feel sorry for her. But people don't know
they
why.
don't,
Stockholm
right,
syndrome. That's why. Because she was in a hostage situation. She was in an abusive relationship. He probably was trafficking her. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Her being so young and he's having an advantage over her. And then he exploited her art, her wanting to be a singer, and he took advantage of her. We could all clearly see that this girl was so much younger than him, and he really took advantage of her. She was also with somebody when he took her. Same thing with Kim Porter. Took her from her man. Same thing with Cassie. Took her from her man.
Yep.
yeah,
And
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
a lot of times, and this is the second part of what I was saying, that women, the attraction y'all have to a man, physical attraction, and when you like his penis, those two things, you will have a hard time disrespecting that man if you have those things going against you.
Mm,
And Every time you see him, you get butterflies. Every time you see him, your body reacts to him before your mind does. You want to have sex, whatever,
Wow.
for whatever reason. If you are physically attracted to the way he looks and his penis, y'all, I'm not calling y'all weak or easy. I'm just saying that has a lot to do with it, because you can have a guy down the street that's not attractive, but he won't cheat on you. He won't lie to you. He cuts your grass. He puts your garbage cans in the back. He says hello. He drops letters in your mail. He gives you money or cash app. You won't even like him.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Thank God I've gotten older and mature and more seasoned when it comes to relationships. And I know the difference of when I'm being manipulated and when someone genuinely, have my best interests at heart. I pay attention now to the conversation, the things that they saying. I pay attention to their behavior. I ask them about their relationships with their mothers, the women in their lives,
Right.
even the exes, because a lot of people like to say, oh, you shouldn't even be worried about the ex in the past. No, yes, you should.
You should.
I
That's
think
right.
I think as to what they're going to say to you. Because if every woman that it was ever in their life or their wife or they treat their mothers a certain way or their sisters or the women in their life, and it's always their fault, and women are this and the women basher guys, yeah, that's red flags for me. Big red flags for me. If you are
Huge.
constantly bashing women all the time, I cannot get down with that because you're not taking accountability. That's why I have a problem with a lot of men in the manosphere and that was following the Kevin Samuels Kool-Aid, is because I believe a lot of those men are highly narcissistic, because you should not have to beat submission into a woman. You should not have to verbally abuse submission into a woman. A woman now automatically know how to naturally curb and submit to the man in her life if he is a natural born leader. That is not anything he have to constantly say to her, constantly
Right.
try to tell her to be. It just is. I was married for 10 years and it was never this whole thing that they're doing in the manosphere, and these type of men is submit, submit, submit. It's like I never was into that. My ex-husband was a natural born leader. And I knew in that marriage how to fall in place in the right way and let him lead as a man. And I knew my place as a woman. And we were there together collectively. He did not I wasn't treated like, I'm beneath him or anything like that. That is an arrogance of people in the manosphere, a lot of those men. And I think a lot of them are highly narcissistic when they
Very.
say that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to go to a quick commercial break and then we're going to come back. I want to introduce the audience to your YouTube channel. And then I just had a couple more questions. I know you have things to do. It's a Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay. I was talking to a lady today, and a lot of y'all say, I'm waiting for him to change. I can remember distinctly when I started hurting girls. I was around 15 years old, and I was dating this young lady. She's dark skinned. She had nice lips, thick body. And for a while, for about a year, she had turned me out. She used to take me to her house, feed me a steak, have sex with me, and send me home. I would catch the bus from her house at 11 o'clock at night. Probably did this for about a year. And then one day it all shifted, it changed. And I started mistreating her because I felt like I didn't have control. And she was so dominant over me that I was embarrassed, but I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm saying this to say this. I remember mistreating girls starting at age 15 all the way up until I went into therapy, when I started talking about why I was mistreating girls, and I was 47. 32 years straight. So there's no such thing as waiting on your Leon or a female like me, Leona, to change.
if they've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it. It becomes a trait. It becomes ingrained. It becomes embedded to be emotionally detached, to hurt people, to lie, to gaslight, to cheat, to break hearts. And then they become used to it. And then they start to expect it. You know why? Because it feels good to have the dominant force in my direction. It felt good to watch her cry. And I know this is triggering for y'all, but I'm saying it so that you realize that you can't hope and wish for a person to change. Some of you go to church, you pray more for that person that's hurting you than you pray for the people that are helping you. That's the part that's insane. Doing something over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. I hurt girls for 32 years straight. 35 years straight. 40 years straight. Because when I got out of therapy, 2014, it took me another 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to say, okay, I finally grow up. And it's not that I'm being real to y'all because I'm getting older, I'm almost 60, and I don't want to die alone. No. All my messages come from God, period. I don't plan a video. I don't plan to talk. I don't plan a Zoom. It just happens. And this is my assignment. So stop waiting on people to grow and change and make your grow and change inevitable. Because they've been doing it for so long, that's exactly who they are. And guess what? That's exactly who they want to be. You have a great day.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you so much for the message.
And I don't even plan those videos, Sharon. I don't.
Yeah.
Patrice, I don't plan any. And just sitting here talking to you all, I've been writing notes about another video, and so I don't
Mm-hmm.
plan them. It just comes to me. My ex-girlfriend started this 4 years ago. I'm not mad at her anymore. It was like it really saved my life because I was going down a dark path even
Mm.
after therapy.
And Brother Leon, I want to ask you something because I heard you say you got 3 major platforms that you're on with 500,000 plus followers, and 98% of them are women. Why
Hmm.
do you think it's so hard for men, and I'm going to specifically say Black men in our community, to realize that they had a problem? Because I watched another video of yours where you said you knew that something was wrong with you. And I think a lot of times, for the most time, we as human beings know when something is wrong with us, something is off. Just like when we get a headache or a stomach ache or something, we know when something is off with us. So why do you think that men, specifically Black men, is so hard for them to face that fact that something is wrong with them and maybe need to go to therapy?
Because they're still emotionally detached from reality. And then,
Mm,
and you see,
Mm-hmm.
I'm reality to them. You know what? I have friends right now that tell me when I go to Cleveland, man, I don't watch your videos, man. It's too close to home, Leon. You my boy.
Mm.
Yeah, they unfollow me. They tell me to my
Wow.
face, I unfollowed you, dog. I'm like, okay, but we out here right now kicking and flirting with all these women, and you married. I don't say that, but I know what's going on. But it's too
right.
much. Yeah, I'm too close to reality for them, and they're not ready to change. In my town of East Cleveland, which is almost obsolete now, it's desolate for the most part.
Oh,
We
wow.
were A lot of my friends, including me, were groomed to be narcissists. We were.
Mm.
We were athletic. We worked hard. We liked money. We liked clothes. We liked fashion. We did listen. We went to school, but we misused girls as far as back as elementary school. I know for a fact because I did it, and I was with my friends I'm still with friends today. They did the same thing with me. We were having sex at 10, 11 years old and
Mm.
earlier. We were smoking cigarettes at 10, 11 years old. We was watching porn at 10 years old. I just so
Mm.
happened to get diagnosed and have therapy, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's
So,
very hard for Black men to come to that fact. And I think it has a lot to do with our culture and even how we were raised, traditionally in our homes, because we swept so much under the rug. We swept so much abuse, swept so much toxicity, drama, and things of that nature in our community. And it
Exactly.
was like everybody knew that we had an Uncle Charlie or Aunt, Brenda, somebody that was a little bit touched in the family, but we chose to like just sweep it on the rug, and we just and Lord knows don't even mention therapy, because it was just taboo in the Black community and
Exactly.
homes, because to say somebody is a little bit something.
That's right. And I'm living proof. I have friends right now, they'll go, hey man, I watch your videos, and that's it. They don't say nothing. They don't even want to talk
Mm.
about it. They don't.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And I know exactly who they are. I know
Mm.
I know why they act the way they act. I've dated women with them. They've shared girls with me. I've had girls I gave to them, whatever. Not gave, but hooked them up, whatever. And it was never about a long-term relationship. It was about how many women can we have sex with. It wasn't about commitment and being faithful. It was never that. In fact, we laughed at men that were faithful and fell in love. And this is when I was a little boy. When my friends said, "Oh man, I love her," we was like,
You
"Boy,
know what? Just to intervene, because when and this is a prime example, when Russell Wilson got with Sierra, they start dragging that man. What they do to men like that is call them simp.
and you know who they praise?
Mm.
They
Future. People like Future.
Oh
exactly
yeah, you see that? Mm-hmm.
type of men that are toxic, highly narcissistic,
Mm.
and drag and do nothing but go around making a bunch of baby mamas that they leave and don't take responsibility for the child. Weak men, in my humble opinion. But you're calling Russell Simpson, Russell Wilson. You're calling him because he took Sierra, who had been dogged by men like Future,
Mm-hmm.
right? And took her with a child that Future didn't take care of, married her, made an honest woman out of her, and now he's giving her children, and she ain't looked back, and they hating on that. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought on social media, I thought that was the weirdest. I said, it's something really wrong in our culture and community. It really is. It's a sickness that
It's
they
a,
would
it's
a
a lot
man
of
and call him a sip. But
it's a lot of undiagnosed mental health issues running rapid
A
in
lot.
our
A lot of my
community.
friends are doing that.
A
Right now, it
lot
is. Yeah,
of
they run. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And look how we did. Look how we
Mm-hmm.
did Dwight Howard. Called him gay. Look how
Mm-hmm.
we abused LeBron. We talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and all the other good men that we run into the ground.
Yeah,
We're by far the most toxic, undisciplined race in the world.
in
If
the
you go on
world.
YouTube, you see us talking about each other, putting each other in the ground, getting paid for, run each other in the ground.
Mm.
We're bad. We're horrible, horrible.
yeah, and
So,
just like now with what's going on with Sharp, I'm still seeing men.
mm-hmm.
They trying to take a Black man down and all this, but they don't. Shannon Sharp has been a detriment since 1994 with his behavior, and it's just been covered up. And he has been abusive. He has been what they are calling him. These women are calling him now. He have settled 10 lawsuits prior to the ones he got now. And I cannot believe that we have people that are sitting saying that it's about trying to take a Black man down. No, it's not.
That's the
It's about
toxic
his.
part. We don't understand it because look at it, Patrice. Okay, look at how we praised him and Cat Williams for the interview, right? It got what 80 million views, right? Somewhere in there.
Yep, yep.
Okay, the smartest thing for uh, a white American man to do that owns YouTube and Facebook is to find a professional athlete that was very, very well known, give him a platform, and then get one of the top comedians that's considered a genius to talk about other Black comedians and put them
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube that has 1 billion followers. What do you think's gonna happen? So
Mm.
I don't just blame Shannon Sharp. I blame Cat Williams, both those Black men for coming together and say, yeah, let's do this because even though we saw the video, it had to be approved before they put it out.
Yeah, that's true. But Leon, I will say this: Cat Williams sat on that couch and said, all lies will be exposed. Cat Williams sat on that couch and told Shannon Sharp to leave those young girls alone, specifically the clear ones, right? That he said he was scared of because what it was known back in our history for women like these women to do to black men. He literally said that. Then you have Monique sit on the couch, told the brother the same thing. And I'm going to tell you why, Leon, is because you're not in the industry and Sharon and I are. It's because a lot of publicists and agents already know the backgrounds of a
Right.
lot of these people.
No, no,
So they,
I agree with you. I got you. I'm just
yeah,
saying, no,
yeah.
you're 100% correct. I'm
So
just
they were
saying,
sidebarring, kind of hinting to him, hey, I'm hearing about what's going on with you, bro. Fall back.
right.
And now look where we are. And
Mhm.
honestly, I really think, Brother Leon, looking at the history of Shannon Sharp, knowing number one, his mother didn't raise him, his grandmother did. I believe he
Right.
has a really, really bad abandonment issue, and he has issues, hate issues with his mom. He was overly barren, babied by his grandmother. He talked about sleeping in the bed with his grandmama till he was damn near a teenager.
Hmm.
He barely spoke of his father, right? So, and I also believe that he was sexually abused. It's just something in me that believes that. And I believe that it created this narcissistic, and I actually believe he is a sociopath.
And then what
I really,
happens
I
is,
really,
I agree with you. I believe that too. And then what happens is, you find an executive that finds him, right, and say, let's give him a platform. It's
yeah,
not a healthy platform, and they know that. Same thing with somebody that you and I, we all know, a female that's talking about people. They keep putting on a platform. It's no different, right? But if you get,
yeah,
if we're on here like we're right now talking about healthy stuff, not putting people down and praising black people, whatever, they won't put us on a platform to talk about this because it's not juicy enough.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
It is juicy enough for me. This is good stuff, but I'm just saying the
right.
way they make money is by promoting
Salacious.
toxicity.
Yep, the toxicity.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, we both know that there is a female in these YouTube streets on Instagram that is definitely highly narcissistic and that is talking about and lying on celebrities and talking about experiences that she is totally, totally not telling the truth about. And people are allowing her to have a platform. But now she's in a couple of lawsuits. She's named in a Diddy lawsuit, and just recently a artist by the name of Brian McKnight just filed a lawsuit against her. Again, like you said, brother, people are not going to continue to sit by and say nothing while you continuously think that they are walking mats that you can just do and say and treat
That's
any
right.
kind of
You
way
can't.
and make up lies on, and nothing's going to be done about it. So now there is power in numbers. That's why I say that all the time. And the more people that start coming forward against her, then hopefully she'll go away. She already has two warrants, that she's wanted, so she's definitely in hiding. But like you said, people keep allowing her to have a platform. And now, if we have people that have these lawsuits against her, to allow her to get on their platform and speak salacious lies on them, now they can sue that platform. And if you are a big platform that has something to lose, you are risking that by having someone so toxic sit on your platform and spew vitriol and venom.
And you know who's next? But she's walking on eggshells now. She's a little careful, but she's still with the toxic stuff. Tasha, was it Tasha K?
Yeah, Tasha K. Yeah.
She's another one. She gets people on there to talk about the Will Smith and his wife. She's got someone else on to talk about this guy, and they got to be careful with it because what they do, they'll get paid for the views, and then now they'll keep going until somebody puts an end to it. You can't keep doing people like that. And all we're doing, you will never see black people with a large platform talk about white people. They're not going to do it. First of all, they're scared. Second of all, the platform is owned by white people. They're not going to put it out there like that.
Yeah, and you would think I would have thought that it would have slowed her down tremendously after losing
Cardi
that
B.
loss to Cardi B. Yeah, and but she's still going strong. So I don't know. More power to Tasha K. I
Right.
just know that there's gonna eventually be. I believe that what Kat said is prophetic. It is coming to light because a lot of people are being exposed. I mean, TD Jakes just stepped down. Since this whole situation came out about him, allegations, he's involved in some lawsuit. He stepped down. I mean, you got to me, and just let me know if you think this, because I thought in my mind some of the most narcissistic people I know there's a lot of everyday narcissistic people, but there are people in highly powered or resource positions to me that I found to be some of the most narcissistic people. And they are like lawyers,
Yeah.
people in law enforcement,
Military.
doctors, military, pastors, priests,
I,
teachers,
I have a lot of friends
politicians.
in the military that are very, very narcissistic. And
Yes,
we're held accountable when we enroll in therapy and we get diagnosed. We have to go because when we don't show up to therapy, they call our job. And that's what happened to me twice. I walked out of therapy 2 times. I was in there for 18 minutes and I left, and I was in the other one for, I forgot how long it was, but they documented and sent it to my job. So the military holds you accountable. If they send you to anger management classes, which I've never gone to, and you don't fail, they don't have to compensate you when you retire for depression and anxiety and all this other stuff. NPD is not a disorder to get disability for. Depression, PTSD, and anxiety come under the same umbrella pretty much. But we get held accountable when we don't make our therapy. So if some of my friends were to enroll in therapy with a psychotherapist in the military right at the VA hospital and get diagnosed with NPD, and
yes.
they will get diagnosed with NPD. I'm almost sure of it because they were the same people that I related to and that I hung out with.
And I know that most people that suffer with NPD is not, they don't just suffer with that alone. Most people that I know that have that deal with some type of mood disorder, whether it's
Hmm.
bipolar, depression,
Hmm.
anxiety.
Yeah,
It,
for
it's
sure.
something else that goes along with the NPD. They may be hiding it, but I have had that experience. But yeah, and listen, celebrities, they're some of the number ones because they are put on pedestals, and they get in these high position as celebrities and think everybody, the world owes them something. And they have been some of the most narcissistic people. A lot of CEOs and CFOs that I've worked for in Fortune 500 companies are highly narcissistic. And now I'm finding a lot of social media content creators
Hmm.
are highly narcissistic.
Yeah, they still on social media all day. I have friends that are diagnosed that are on social media right now, and we talk.
Mm.
And they don't like some days when they don't get enough views. When the algorithm changes, they don't like it. It bothers them. So I have to. We talk. We talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. 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 I'm the
Mm.
same way. I'm the same way. But I don't
Really?
react. Yeah. Yeah. I don't react like. Oh, I don't have meltdowns. I have to control that. Yeah.
Mm.
I have to
Because that's
control that.
supply for them. That's
Mm.
I,
supply.
And we
Uh,
commend you for your honesty. You're so honest. I love it. Thank you so much for being
I have to
honest.
be. I don't like to
yeah, I
hide it
love it,
anymore
Kathy.
because,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
hide it. But I'm the same way. But I have to look at my
Mm.
videos and say, I'm helping people. This is from
Yeah.
God. So the devil, that's the devil. That's all it is. The devil saying, yo, man,
Mm.
post another one because you only got 3,000. Post another. You can get 10. That's the devil. So I don't. It
Wow.
doesn't bother. It was bothering me for a while, like last year,
Mm.
really bad. And I'm like, I got to stop. But I do talk to my friends that have MPD, and it's
Mhm.
it's tough on them when they don't get the views and the money. It's bad. So we talk for an hour or so, and they thank me because we need each other. To be honest, when you have somebody with MPD and they're a content creator and things are not going as well for them, I know how they feel. I know exactly how they feel. So
What
I'm the
does
Yeah.
oldest guy out of here just talking about this. I'm 59.
mm.
My other
Oh.
friends are in their 40s. A
Mm.
couple females in their 30s, but I'm above and beyond all the adulation and the high fives and the hugs don't get me wrong, I like it, but I don't let it really control me because that attention will control the narcissist. It will control them. So I know how to deal with people with NPD because I don't feed that monster inside them. When I don't, they become humble and they don't like it, or they'll say, "Yo, man, you didn't say this, or you hurt my feelings, Leon." These are grown men. I'm telling you right now.
Really?
Oh yeah, for
Wow.
sure, for sure.
So,
Highly, very
um,
sensitive, very easily offended. They got major
mm.
issues.
Oh
They
yeah.
snap
Oh
at the
yeah.
drop hat and
Mhm.
outcome history all in the venom. They're very highly
Mhm. I
sensitive.
saw that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Embarrassment. They hate to be embarrassed. You cannot. Oh Lord, they explode. He would explode. if he thought that I was embarrassing him. He was so sensitive. But what's your message to men who are silently struggling with ego control or trauma?
Come clean. It's simple. It's simple, Sharon. Come clean and
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I got a problem. I'm gonna tell you something. The thing I love about all women, especially black women, is because I grew up with black women, is that when you tell the truth and come clean, y'all will clean us up and polish us. Y'all will love us to death. All y'all want us to do is, yeah,
You so
y'all want us to come
will.
clean
We
and be
fixer,
honest.
we fixer uppers.
Man,
Yes,
y'all
we
like, look,
will.
just tell the truth and I got you. And then just keep
Yeah,
telling truthfully honest, stay in therapy, keep helping
yeah,
people. That's
yeah.
my support. That's what makes me, y'all help me out a lot. You know, if I didn't have y'all, if I didn't have the women in my corner, black, white, Asian, Latin women, if I didn't have those
Mm,
Native American women or indigenous, if I didn't have y'all, I don't know where I would be because
mm,
very, 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 very few men help me. Very few. It's
And that's
all
sad because I want to see, especially our black men, because I know that the moment y'all walk out y'all doors, every day of your life since you were born, you have had to prove to everybody, the world, your job, society, you have had to go above and beyond because there's this thing called systemic racism that we have been going through for decades, right? So now we know the issues that are plaguing us within our communities, but highly narcissistic men have a hard time with their egos and with their pride. I
very
do
hard.
notice that
Very hard
very
time.
hard for them to
mm,
be vulnerable, for them to break down and be vulnerable to the
mm,
woman, the one they sleeping with every day,
mm,
and relationships, married to, got children with. But I do see them, laughing and talking and berating and downing the women that they sleeping with. And it just baffles,
mm,
that. And I know it's a problem within our community and culture, and we need help. And black men, I implore you to please get the help that you need
mm,
because I see it, Brother Leon, more and more, and the numbers are rising. Unfortunately, with black men in our community, and now I'm noticing with black women too, but specifically with our men, because there are
mm,
narcissistic sociopaths and psychopaths that are
mm,
now sending a lot of our sisters to meet their maker. I'm seeing a lot
mm,
of that. They're sending our sisters to meet their makers.
Oh, you know
mm,
what? Even like, for instance, Nick Cannon was diagnosed with NPD.
Yep.
Do
mm,
you see him on social media talking about it?
Nope.
mm,
And
Nope.
I think about tagging him when I do videos so somebody get his attention. Look, man,
Maybe that might be a good idea, bro. You never know. You might end up linking up with him because what he brags about is how cool it is to have all the baby mamas he have and be in these type of make excuses for being in the type of relationships with these women that he's sleeping with that he don't have to marry, but he can just say, I want this baby with her over here, over here, over here. Like, nah, bro.
mm. And
You
Leon,
know,
my guest tomorrow is working with Nick Cannon, so that's not hard to we can have a
yeah,
conversation with them.
give him my information.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the best thing he can do is to start now and say, you know what, he got diagnosed, he got those kids. It's only gonna get worse for him. He needs
Wow.
to clean. It's okay. Trust me, his life will get better if he just comes clean and say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start helping people. He can't run
Mm-hmm.
from it. We already know.
start tagging them in your videos, bro. I think that's
Okay,
an
Yeah.
awesome idea for
I
sure.
will.
I
I
would do
will.
that. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll talk to him one on one. He and I can.
Yeah.
And this is not even about me getting attention, being with
Mm-hmm.
a celebrity. I've been around. I have celebrity friends right now.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't do
Mm-hmm.
anything for me. I want to help people.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's genuine too. I don't think he would say no to anything because he's open. I love him because he is open, even though you say he was diagnosed, but he is open to help.
Well,
Yeah,
he was open and honest with admitting that he was diagnosed with it. I think
Yeah.
besides him, Brother Leon and Lee Hammock, probably
Mhm.
the only black men that I know, that has a social
Mhm.
media platform that has admitted to
Mhm.
diagnosed, it's
Mhm.
narcissistic personality disorder. Because first of all, the biggest thing about a narcissist is that when they in denial about it or don't want to admit it, they think something is wrong with everybody else and nothing is wrong with them.
Nothing wrong with them.
Exactly. That's
And
the
the
easy
most
way out, though.
and the most pitiful thing to see is to see somebody that's broken and broke and a narcissist and think they got their life together.
Right, right. It's not even real.
Ooh.
Hmm.
It's
So,
they living in a delusion.
They
yeah.
living a lie, just living a whole lie, a whole story
Brother,
that ain't.
Brother
Mm.
Leon, why is taking accountability and apologizing so hard for a narcissist?
Because it feels like we're losing. It's a loss.
Mm. It's fear. It's a lot of fear. They fear a
Fear.
lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never apologized. Uh, my ex-girlfriend
Mhm.
told me this about 4 years ago, and I was like, "What?" She said, "You have a problem with apologizing." I'm like, "Why should I apologize to you for what?" And
Uh-oh.
then years later, 2022, I think I called her and told her, I said, "You know what? You were right. It's years later, but you were right. I never apologized. I didn't even realize that I wasn't apologizing. That was so crazy to me. I'm like, why should I apologize for what? Nothing happened." And Leon, you just said this to me. You hurt my feelings and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then we go get some ice cream and some, I'll go buy some shoes. It's over with, you know?
So,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
have you been back and apologized to any of the women that you hurt in
Yeah,
your life?
yeah. Yeah, I've done it. I do it often. Like, it's women I talk to now that I used to date. I'm like, you know what? Let me apologize because I said that. Some things I remember what I said to them when I hurt them. And some things I don't
Mm.
remember. Like just maybe a few years ago. Well, recently she said that I did this a few years ago. She came to see me and she wanted to talk to me, and we were on the bed talking. And she said I got up and walked away, and I got on the phone with another lady, and I don't remember that. But
Oh
I was
wow.
no, yeah, I don't remember that.
Mm.
But I know she's telling the truth because she was here, and I do
Yeah.
remember sitting on the bed with her, and I remember her talking to me, but I don't remember walking away and getting on the phone. She explained this just like not too long ago. She explained it to me.
Mm.
And I'm like, what? I said, I don't remember that, but I remember you being here. I remember her sitting on the bed talking to me, and I walked away, got on the phone, talked to another lady. Yeah. And so my ex-wife told me the same thing when we went to marriage counseling. We talked about this last year, and we went to marriage counseling in 1997, 98. I don't remember anything about it, but she told me. I remember driving there, and I remember sitting on the couch, but I don't remember seeing her or the counselor. And because I constantly tell people all my therapists were white, but she said we had a black therapist, and I don't remember him. I can't tell you to this day, but we laughed about it. We were at dinner with her brother. She said, "Yeah, Leon, he was a black man, and you told him to call you by your nickname, and when he didn't call you by your nickname, you went off." And I walked out of therapy. I don't remember that
Wow.
at all. So what I found out was that when you're not a part of my agenda, I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember you. I don't remember what you said or what you look like. And if you're talking, I don't hear it. So that's the self-centered, selfish part and the lack of empathy, not caring about what you have to say. So when you're not a part of
Wow.
my energy, my part of my agenda, you don't matter at that moment. And it's a deeply detached, emotionally detached mindset because you can remind me the next day and I'll be like, I don't know, I don't have no idea what you're talking about. And she will go, well, Leon, you said we can sit down and talk, and we were talking, and I don't remember what she's talking about because I said we can talk, but I didn't want to talk, so she wasn't part of my agenda.
Yeah. So you blocked it out. I think
Mm.
a blackout or blocking that you do in your mind because you compartmentalizing so many different mental things,
Mm-hmm.
that's going on in the mind of a narcissist. I noticed that narcissistic people, they're wired differently. Their mindset has been programmed differently. Again, you wasn't born that way, but it was created by
Right,
trauma, by environment,
right.
by experiences,
Neglect,
by
abuse.
different things. So it's right, abuse. So it's the way you compartmentalize things. And a lot of people think that that being a narcissist come from like like physical abuse, but sometimes it could be mental, it could be verbal,
Mm-hmm.
it could be psychological. Damage. It could be overachievers in your life, like some of the people that you see that have been highly privileged, rich, wealthy, the golden child type kids that are
Yeah,
privileged, that they parents overbearingly made them think they were better than other people, those are highly narcissistic people. I
Right.
noticed. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they went through some type of trauma. But for the most part, especially I think in our culture and community as Black people, that it definitely is a combination of trauma, genetics, and environment.
Yep. So I got to get ready to check out, y'all. I'm gonna take my son to go eat, but
Yeah.
yeah, this was
Um,
good. It don't even seem like it
last
was an hour and a
question.
half. Huh?
Yeah.
I know
Last
we got to
question.
get
If
you
someone
back.
Last question. If someone's watching this today and feels trapped in a toxic relationship or is ready to change themselves, what's your first word or last word to them tonight?
I tell
Yeah.
women this and men that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good people, right? Good natured people, empaths, we're just good people. You have discernment. You have a second brain. We all have a second brain. It's our gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Start believing that. When you feel it, it's there for a reason. It's not just an odd feeling or you're sick. Believe your intuition. Get help. Enroll in therapy. Talk about it. Ask questions. Give up answers. Tell them what you're going through, and then do something about it. Don't just go home and sleep with the person again and feed them and be happy. They're going to get worse.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I saw this quote that said, "We die at 25, but we're not buried until we're 75." Some people, and that's a lot of women. They give up their life. They stop living at 25, 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and then they don't get buried until they're 75. They just live the rest of their life
Empty.
mentally out,
Mm-hmm.
checked out, but staying with the same person,
Mm.
abused, mentally abused, verbally abused, not being complimented, being cheated on, given disease, all kind of stuff. So if
Yeah.
you feel it in your soul and your spirit, take action, take heed, and believe that that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong.
Yeah,
Mm.
awesome.
And thank you
Thank you so
so much.
much. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I want to
Anytime.
especially thank you because you always, every time I call you and reach out, you here for me. Thank you
I
so
got
much.
you. You know that it could be
I
months,
appreciate.
but if you reach out, when you reach out, I
I
got you.
know, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the work you do to
Hmm.
Yeah.
help
And
people.
let everybody know how they can reach you, Brother Leon.
Okay. On YouTube, Leon R. Walker Jr., Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, Leon R. Walker Jr. My picture's posted there. You can't miss me. Um, Reach out if you have any problems, issues. If they want to talk to me through you all and set up another talk or call, whatever, do that too. Y'all have my information. If y'all somebody that needs a one-on-one, hit me up. I do one-on-ones too, and I don't charge anybody. People just say bless me with coffee or a
Mhm.
sandwich, and I'm simple because I know people are having a hard time out here. Money
Yeah.
is scarce. People are hurting. Work is not,
Amen.
is not as often or much as they want to. So yeah, social media, Leon R. Walker Jr. And I'm working on my website to get that done again. So yeah, but all the social media, Leon R. Walker Jr.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you,
for
dear
your
brother.
time.
I
You have a
appreciate it.
wonderful weekend.
Okay, y'all
Thank
be
you so
safe out
much.
there too.
You too. Bye bye.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
bye bye.
Talk to you
Bye bye.
soon.
Oh wow, that was great.
Awesome. That was
Yeah,
awesome. That was needed. That was needed. That was needed. You never know
yeah.
who's listening and need the help, and I'm sure he'll be able to help a lot of people, especially with his honesty. But before I have to go, I gotta go to a 40th birthday party. I would love to stay, but I'll be back here tomorrow, same time with Dr. Sabi's son to give people some information and enlightenment on healing and what he's doing to keep the legacy for his father tomorrow at 7, same time. And last, I want to publicly apologize to Miss Dana Robertson. I do want to take this special moment to publicly apologize to you, sister. Um, I've been hearing nothing but good things about you, and being a survivor of many different things in my life: teenage pregnancy, domestic violence, marrying a narcissist, and just going through so much abuse with our brothers. Okay, I have no other choice but to respect the work that you do. So at the time, I was asked to speak on someone and to ask the YouTubers to, leave that sister alone. So looking back, I do realize that it was not the place to do it. So I do sincerely apologize. And to my sister OG Patrice, If I made her feel uncomfortable and also Dana made you feel uncomfortable, I do apologize. So accept my apology. Hopefully we'll be able to meet. Before all of this happened, I was trying to contact you, but I didn't know if I had the right Dana because I was told to contact
Danny,
you.
it's
Um,
Danny.
Danny. I'm not good with names, so I apologize, but Danny. So, if I disrupted anything or caused any issues, I genuinely wish that could be subsided. And to your followers as well, or your viewers, I apologize to them as well if they felt some type of way. So my intent was pure in just doing what I was asked to do. Okay. So I wish you continued strength, abundance, and peace in your advocacy work, my sister. And at this moment now, I'm gonna ask you, Sister OG Patrice, if you have any final words before I go turn up at this 40th birthday party.
Well, you enjoy yourself at that, sis. And you know what? Thank you for doing that. Um, we as older people on this platform need to lead by example and set example for the younger ones that's coming. So if we can't take accountability for our actions, and when we make mistakes or say something or do something wrong, then what are we showing the younger generation? So I appreciate you for giving that apology to Danny Robinson, because like you said, she didn't deserve to be lumped into that negativity. And I was taken aback by it as well and unaware of what was going on. So I thank you for apologizing to me. And that's how we supposed to do it as grown people. Is we supposed to wholeheartedly, apologize and mean it and do the change behavior, because I'm a big advocate for apology without change behavior is null and void. So thank you, sister. I appreciate that. And
You're welcome.
thank you. And I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. I see my sister Roxy from Roxy Ladies Lounge is here. I saw Ahmad L. Shout out to y'all. Let's get some shout outs to everybody that came
Yes,
in the chat
yes.
and are listening, even the people in the
Mhm.
booth. Y'all hit that like bell, hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel, ladies. If you want to, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear more candid conversations like this from me and Sister Sharon, then yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. That's
And
it,
be
sis.
back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7. We got Dr. Sabi's son that's going to be talking about healing and some projects he's working on with Nick Cannon and keeping his father's legacy going.
I'm a
Okay.
huge, I was a huge fan of Dr. Sabi, so I definitely
Mm,
look forward to this interview.
absolutely. Okie dokie. Well, thank you guys for coming out. And I'm about to go get my party on.
Have a good time. Be safe.
All right. I will, my
Drink and
sister.
drive. Don't drink and drive.
Oh no, Nick is gonna drive. He gonna drive. It's a
Have
crew
a
of us,
drink
girl.
and
We got
drive.
tables. It's gonna be lit.
Out.
Okay.
Take pictures.
I
Take
wish he
pictures.
was here. I wish he was here. Oh, I
I
definitely will. I
I
definitely will. Okay.
love you. Thank
All
you
right.
so much for that. I
All right,
appreciate it.
sis. You're
All right.
welcome. Peace and love, sis.
Bye. Bye.